All right, baseball season. We're getting, believe it or not, I know this is going to be a little shocking, but Memorial Day is this coming, a week from today, this coming weekend, Memorial Day weekend, and baseball playoffs. Ron Moshier from the OD on the line right now. Good morning, Ron.
Hey, good morning, Bill.
Hard to believe we're that close, and there's been a change, right? Because there have been things got started so late, and also because of the rain, they've made a bit of a change to the playoff situation.
Well, they allowed every team to
everybody's
qualify.
in.
Yeah, I mean they don't have to qualify. They just if they decide to go, they're in. And actually, most teams decided to go, no matter what their record was. You know, originally it's 40%. You have to win 40% of your league games, or games within your own class, or 40% overall. You know, there are three different ways to qualify. Well, they waived that because it's been such a wet spring.
So does that mean
such a wet spring that my voice sounds like Barry White right now?
Yeah,
I don't know if
like
that or what. But,
yeah.
Tell me, you know, so that's really changed things. I mean, when I look at the seedings, Bill, I think it does affect some teams. For instance, Whitesboro in Class A, they're the number 2 seed. Number 1 seed, Janesville DeWitt, gets a bye. Because there's 15 teams. There's 15 Class A baseball teams in Section 3. All 15 decided to go to the playoffs, including winless Indian River. And where that plays comes into play, I think, is, you know, Whitesboro is 2 seed. They're going to play Indian River, scheduled for today, I believe, but we'll see with the weather. But anyway, that means Whitesboro's got to use pitching to play a winless team that normally wouldn't be in the playoffs, you know.
So, the other thing
that's an extra game for Whitesboro.
This is single elimination, right?
Yes and no. That's another thing that's been thrown in this year out of the blue. Basically, in Class A, all the other 4 classes are the same, single elimination. It's an experimental thing for this year. They're throwing it out that in Class A, the first round is single elimination, then it turns into a double elimination tournament. So that's really different than I've ever dealt with in 30-some years.
Here's my throw a monkey wrench into this whole thing. You never know when a team that does not do well, has a bad record, wouldn't have made the playoffs, but they have a good pitcher.
Exactly. That's my concern.
Yeah.
That would be my concern with Whitesboro. Maybe they have one very, very good pitcher.
Yep,
so
they got one good game in them. Yep.
It's, what the heck? All or nothing. Let's see if we can knock off number 2 seed Whitesboro. So we'll see.
So meanwhile,
I have no idea about Indian River because they're, from up north. I don't know much about them other than that they're winless. And normally they wouldn't be in the playoffs, and Whitesboro wouldn't have to play this.
So this knocks out a team that could sustain a playoff run. By a team that has one good game in them. I'm not sure.
Right. I mean, let's face it. The odds of that happening probably are slim.
Right.
But it could happen. So,
sure. Yep.
Hey, it's baseball, So
the old saying, any team can beat any other team on any given day. I'm not sure that's the saying, but I paraphrase it.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but we do have a couple of number 1 seeds. Sequoia in Class C. Even though they actually dropped a couple games last week, they lost to Cooperstown and they lost to Holland Patton, I believe, back-to-back in the last week of the regular season. But Sequoia Valley is still very, very good. They got a group of 5 or 6 seniors who are excellent. And, they're the number 1 seed. Cooperstown's the number 2 seed. They split during the regular season. And they both have some very, very good seniors. And, they could wind up meeting in the finals, obviously. Right. So, and that's in C.
Ron, let me ask you this, just to go back to one thing on Indian River. Did you say they were winless? I'm looking at the post you put up about the matchups. How are they a 6 seed?
I'm sorry, how are they a what?
A 6 seed. I'm sorry, Ron.
Let me see.
If you're winless, they're playing, it looks like, according to the schedule, they're playing Central Valley. I just don't understand.
No, Indian River is a 15 seed.
Oh, okay.
They're 15 out of 15.
Okay.
Whitesboro's number 2. So it's an odd number. So Janesville DeWitt's number 1. So JD gets a bye.
Okay.
Janesville DeWitt doesn't have to play. So
now, does this mean they didn't get their games in this year? And they're not worrying at this point about getting all the games in?
Oh, right. Yeah, they're not going to. Oh,
they're not even getting close.
Some of these teams have played only like maybe a dozen games.
Wow.
And let's face it, the weather report this week doesn't look great, and the finals are, May 28th for AA, and then May 29th, what's that, Monday? That's, Monday and Tuesday, I believe, are the finals, May 29th and 30th. So
yeah, they might have a difficulty getting the games in this week.
Although, and remember, it's double elimination in Class A after the first round.
Although
now, granted, they only have 15 teams.
Right.
But in Class B, it's going to be tough to win it all because there's 23 teams, and only one team decided not to go to the playoffs. So
the forecast has changed just a little bit. Looked like tomorrow is going to be the only nice day of the work week, but it now looks like Wednesday. There's sunshine. They're predicting for Wednesday now, so maybe they can get some games in Tuesday and Wednesday. But other than that, it's going to rain this week.
Right. Yeah. Well, the other top seed that we have, and Tom Meese, the coach there, the athletic director at Oriskany, does a great job year after year, and it seems like they're almost always there. They're number one seed in Class D. They've got a great pitcher, one of the best players in the area, Ryan Enos. I think 7-0 as a pitcher. He's a great shortstop. He's a great catcher. I mean, that would be an awesome team if Ryan Enos could pitch, catch, and play shortstop all in the same game. But they're super,
right.
And they're the number one seed. And the way the brackets fall, they could meet in the quarterfinals. West Canada Valley, who's a defending champion, and they actually split during the regular season. So we'll see. Brookfield's number 3 seed. Still, Jamie Riley, the coach there. I still marvel at how well they have done in baseball when they've got like 13 kids in their graduating class. So
in the entire class, It's
hats
crazy.
off to Brookfield. They're there. They're there again as a 3 seed. So.
All right, so we'll talk again on Tuesday. There'll be a lot to talk about right after Memorial Day.
Tuesday.
Yep.
Yeah, I should mention my favorite of our local teams, I still think, is BDS. They're a number 2 seed in Class B, and they get a bye, and then they'll play the winner of Notre Dame Phoenix. Okay. And remember, Notre Dame last year, I believe, was 500 or slightly below 500 and made it to the finals in Class C. They're Class B now. And the number 1 seed in Class B is Immaculate Heart Central from Watertown.
Yeah.
They're the team that beat Notre Dame in the C finals last year. Both those private schools are bumped up to Class B. But I still like BVS. I mean, they've got Davey Moffett, one of the most feared hitters in the area, and they've got a couple of really good pitchers, Connor Van Driesen, a great lefty who's going to St. Bonaventure, and then they got Dewey Roden. I love it. It's the Dewey and Davey show there, and I really think BVS is a favorite there in Class B.
All right. And by the way, Jim Kelly coming to town, Ron. This is going to be really, really big, this event coming up.
Oh, my gosh. It's the biggest thing we've ever set out to do. So I can't wait, but I really want to. I wish we could do a dress rehearsal first because there are going to be hundreds of athletes, hundreds of parents, and it should be a great night. We also, I should mention, we have the Will Smith banquet coming up. Former Proctor coaches Paul Folletti and Jerry Fiorini are still involved in that. The Where There's a Will, There's a Way Foundation in honor of Will Smith. Is honoring the OD's All Mohawk Valley team June 1st, I believe. So. It's going to be busy the next few weeks. So
no doubt about it. So, and again, you do have that Barry White sound to you. You got that going on a little bit.
It's actually getting better. So
yeah. All right, Ron. Listen, this whatever it is, it lingers and it gets in. You're constantly clearing your throat, and it lasts for weeks. I've had it as well. It just is. It's crazy.
Well, I just got it, but I think it's from working outside and the pollen and everything, and trying to train for the 100-mile bike ride and the Boilermaker. Maybe I'm getting old, Bill.
I don't think so, Ron. I think you're doing just fine. So,
oh, yeah.
All right. Thank you, sir.